Welcome to the Rotary Club of Livermore. Thank you all for being here today, and thank you for all you do for our club and, more importantly, our community. Where is Jack? Jack, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Everybody remove the hat.
Cover.
Just say it. And begin. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bob's here.
Great. Songsters.
Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. Notice the songsters are saying me, 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 me. Well, hey, Joel's going to talk about, I think, shrimp. So that's the only song we could think of with shrimp in it. Margaritaville.
Michael, move a little to the left. There you go. So not in front of Linda.
About this. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sponge cake, watching the sun bake, all of the tourists covered with oil, strumming my swing string on my front porch swing,
see, thought for the day. Paul Thompson has some special words for us today, and I've given Paul some extra time because when Paul
Hold them to 30 seconds.
okay,
He's very kind, Mr. President.
you've got your.
How many pages?
One.
How many pages?
One. I cut it down. Single space or double? That's space. Okay, on a serious note, if that's possible, a little bit of history. Those of you, we have a lot of new members. I joined when the club used to meet at the Rancher Bar on Pine Street, and there weren't any women, just men were there, which was really, I'm not going to say anything. Yeah. I think the women have improved this a lot. So the categories, we had very strict categories in those days, and there was only one member allowed per category.
Really?
with one exception, two exceptions, clergymen and newspaper writers. They were the only ones. You could have 2 or 3 newspaper people and 2 or 3 clergymen. So when I joined, Reverend Bill Nebo was the clergyman, and I can't remember the name of the other one, Bill. Who was it?
I don't remember either.
There was one there. And at the start of each meeting in those days, we instead of a thought for the day, like we're having now, we had a invocation.
Prayer, yeah.
It was called an invocation. And some time ago, this club changed our process from invocation to thought for the day. I'm not sure if that was a Rotary across-the-board decision, but certainly our club made that decision. So today I'm going to go back to the old way, just for today, okay? But first, what is an invocation? So I actually Googled, there's a million things, so I Googled it. So the simplest thing is an invocation is a type of prayer, specifically an opening request to call upon a divine being or higher power for presence, guidance, and blessing at the start of a ceremony, service, or event, functioning as an earnest appeal for spiritual assistance. So, again, go back to a little more history, more of Rotary. The four-way test was created in 1931 by a Rotarian named Herbert Taylor. I forget which club he belonged to. His business was in trouble at the time, and he felt he had to do something to change how his business was being run. So he developed the four-way test. It took a while for the employees to use in their business and personal lives. His business was close to being bankrupt, and after he employed this process of having everybody memorize and learn the four-way test, it saved his business from bankruptcy. And the four-way test was adopted by Rotary International in 1943. So it took a while, it took about 12, 13 years to get it. So, here is my invocation for this day, for today. Dear God, help each one of us follow the four-way test in our personal, work and business and social lives. Not just us, but our leaders in business and our leaders in the government. So, to say the four-way test. Does anybody want to say it out loud? I'll say it, don't do it.
Prayer, friendly, and good.
Okay, is it the truth? Is it fair to everybody, all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial for all concerned? So I think this is a good, valuable thing for us to know and live our lives by. And so a question for the board, maybe we should start each meeting with the reciting of the four-way test. Paul, I think that's a wonderful thought for the day. Thank you very much.
Well, we're not going to do it.
go, meeting front line. Linda Stanford is doing both Spur Reporter and Spur Publisher. Irv Stowers, photographer, right over here to my left.
Thank you, Irv.
Audiovisual, Ted Michaels, thanks for all the work you've done this week, prepping everything up and getting things in order. Greeter, Sheila Faliano. Thank you, past President Sheila. Next up, even more frontliners. And we have Debbie Peck and Keith Beck. Peck and Beck are back. And do you have anything to say about the possibility of the tickets? Where are we at?
We have today $107.
So if you're interested, you can float over there to Peck and Beck and they'll coordinate with you.
They can't buy now that the meeting has started.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that nuance. Kathy Coyle, web magician.
Yes, I love that.
Are you here, Kathy? Okay. Public outreach, Kelly Bowers. And videographer Tim Berry. Thank you, Tim. Introduction of visiting Rotarians and guests. Do we have a roving mic today?
At least one.
We have two. Great.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, JR.
Happy New Year to all the Rotarians here and guests. I'd like to introduce Bob Tucknott. He's a member of the Dublin Club, electrical contractor, and if we had merit badges like Scouts, he would have every single one of those. So, hello, Bob.
Hi and Happy New Year. It's on. I'm Barbara Limbaris, and I brought my husband Nick Limbaris, who is the other half of the Perfect Harmony Properties real estate team. Welcome.
Welcome.
Over here.
Non-Rotarian, a friend of mine, Kwa Van Fan. He is a free-range chauffeur and Uber driver, and he has driven probably half of this room to the airport and back. And on these trips, we talk, and Rotary has come up many times, and so he wanted to see what we looked like.
Welcome. We hope to see you again soon.
Thank you. I hope to be here.
Good.
President Pat, fellow Rotarians, Happy New Year to all of you, and it's great to be here and see everybody. It's also very special for me. I have my special lady with me today. I'll join her.
Welcome, Carol.
President Pat and fellow Rotarians, it is my honor and privilege to introduce my son, Brody Bishop. He's here.
Brody. Great to see you.
And I have another guest, William. He is going to give a quick 1-minute introduction to a poker tournament that my foundation and his foundation are co-sponsoring.
Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it. 4 out of 10 kids are going to die an early death due to diabetes. And it's happened on our watch. It's gone up 1% a year in our lifetimes. It is tragic. For the first time in history, their lifespan's shorter than ours. And we can do something about it. So I started a foundation to bring awareness, to bring good food, and to bring education. And whoever loves poker, we would love your support. Our first event is February 10th, Pleasanton Sidetrack. Beautiful buffet, high protein, low carb, includes the chips, and it's a tax write-off. So if you know anybody who plays poker, we also have tickets for non-players. Really looking to sell this event out because it's all about momentum. And I really appreciate the support. If anybody has any questions, I'll be at the back of the room. But I'm passionate about making a difference. And I appreciate your support.
Thank you, William. And good luck with your project. Let's see, next up, announcements. I'd like Barbara Barris to come up along with Sonia Sheffield and is Don Sweeney? Yeah.
What? I think he wants you up there.
We need a rehearsal.
Okay.
Are you ready?
No.
Oh, okay.
So this is a blue badge. All right. I'm going to ask Sonia to give the blue badge. She's the sponsor.
Okay.
Okay. Welcome to Rotary.
Thank you.
Thank you for making that. Let's see. I guess I shouldn't get too friendly. Anyway, you are now official.
Thank you.
I'm collecting
You can have that
this.
one.
Thank you. And we appreciate. Oh, sorry. We appreciate your commitment to Rotary and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting
It's almost been, how many years? Yeah, right. Yeah. Great. Okay. I'm going to give you a brief run-through on the Rotary Satellite Club adventure. So many of you received already what I'm about to say through Irv's email message, but I'm just going to go through it quickly here. So you have a general sweep of what's going on. So I want to share the news that the Rotary Club of Livermore has chartered a satellite club named the Livermore Satellite Club Evening Club. Actually, Livermore Satellite Club Evening. In September last year, at our board meeting, Mike Thompson proposed that our club create a satellite club. Establishing satellite clubs has been a focus of our district leadership. Our satellite club, with over 20 members already signed up, will be meeting on the first Thursday of each month in the evenings at Omega Road Winery. And satellite members will be joining us at our twice-a-month evening meetings at Del Val Winery. You'll be hearing more about this. I think Mike will be talking with us a little bit more about this in the coming meetings. I just want to commend Mike Thompson for his efforts to create this addition to our club. It's increasing our membership and expanding our ability to support our community. So Mike has been amazing putting this all together, and I want to give him a round of applause even though he's not here. Good to see you. Tim, I think you have a few things to say.
Yes. Well, I'm usually up here begging for you to go to the spreadsheet of all the jobs for our weekly meetings and put your name down to do something during the meeting. I have good news, though. For the month of December, we have a winner of a gift card to the Vine Theater. And there was a tie for second place for this. So Stu and Linda and Michael and Dave and Sheila and Joel all gave us 3 assists for the month. It was a short month, right? But the winner is Trudy Barnes with 5. Come on up, Trudy. Congratulations, not everybody has one of these, so. Thank you for all your work. Our picture's right here. Thank you so much. And thank you all for your help at every meeting.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim. So, birthdays and anniversaries with Trudy and Dave.
Like a shock.
I got some difficulty.
We get so involved in the conversation that we all enjoy that.
I know, okay. That's good. Okay, we're gonna do birthdays and anniversaries, and I'm gonna start with anniversaries because I don't think any of them are here. That'll make it super. So celebrating 58 years is Hank Shea and his wife Ernie. 58 years. And celebrating 49 years, Kathy and Pat Coyle. No, not here. You want to sing it anyway?
When I get older, losing my hair, many years from now, will you still send me a Valentine? Birthday greetings, bottle of wine. When I went out till 4:03, would you lock the door? Will you still need me? Will you still need me when I'm 64?
Okay. Wow, I didn't even know we were singing that. Okay. Birthdays. Okay, we're gonna start. Jeremy Young. Is Jeremy here?
He is not.
Born on New Year's Day. Loretta here, January 8th. Okay, Roxana Mohammed, January 10th. I'm sure she's at school. Lance Cavallari, January 11th. Bob Bishop, January 11th. Tim Berry, January 14th. Carol Howell, January 18th. And JR, January 19th. Ronnie Forbes, January 27th. Yep. And Rick Visness, January 27th.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, your turn.
Let's see, crab feed. Is JR coming up for the crab feed? Great. Go ahead.
Okay, it's coming up, the 21st. I believe the tickets are going to be available. Are they?
They are.
They are available.
No,
So
well, I have a little glitch, so after 5 today.
after 5 today, and we do have a meeting tomorrow at 5 o'clock at Bob's house. So all the crabsters that make this happen show up. Also, start getting in those donations for our baskets and silent auction and our live auction. If you have something like that, or you know that you can get something like that, please contact Trudy or myself or anybody that you can contact me. Anyways, that's it.
So next week, Jessica Carroll will be doing another Rotary Insight seminar. She partitioned 2 of these seminars. One we've already heard, Jessica's first iteration of that. Next week, we're going to hear the second part of that. And that will be, as I said, a Rotary Insight seminar. So we have some special guidance that we follow around that type of presentation. We'll be doing that next week.
Do we go there for lunch?
You can.
It says you can't now borrow wonder.
You can't, we won't be there. They don't want to be there.
It's a night.
Oh, it's not that big.
It's an evening meeting.
Yeah,
It's an evening meeting.
Gotcha.
I think there was consensus, it's an evening meeting.
Yes.
Great. Okay, next up, this is going to be very interesting.
It's gonna be weird.
Who's introducing you?
Joel needs no introduction.
He needs no introduction.
So, Paul Thompson was talking about categories, and I've led sort of a sheltered, insular career where I was on nuclear submarines, then I worked for GE. Bob Cowan, in fact, was my boss's boss when I joined the club. And when I was working at GE, a lot of the folks I worked with were chemists. And then I started working at the lab, and I was in chemistry and environmental services, and all the people I worked with were chemists. So Niall said, "Hey Joel, you want to join Rotary?" And I had been in Interact when I was in high school. So I said, "Sure, I'll join Rotary." And then I remembered that categories thing. And I was so used to being in a big mob of chemists. And I think that's what you call a group of chemists, right? Or maybe it's a spill of chemists. But I said, well, okay, there's probably other chemists here. So I said, what am I going to call myself? Since you can't have two chemists in the same club. So I thought, well, I'm a radiation chemist, and I do radiation detection. I analyze things from the field, so I'm an environmental radiochemist. So I finally settled for something that I thought people would understand, nuclear chemist, which I wasn't, because that's a whole different, but I figured it'd be easier for the general public to sort of know what I did. Around 1993, I started doing special projects for GE, going out to power plants and looking at all the different radioactive isotopes they had at the power plants, and things like, why is this isotope collecting over here? It shouldn't be there. It's getting there. We don't understand what's going on. So I had to figure out why that particular stuff that's radioactive is also still a chemical, right? So it's going to have a chemical behavior and it's going to have a radioactive behavior. So why is lanthanum-138 in our condenser? It's like, okay, we have to go figure this out. So all sorts of stuff that I did like that, get to the lab, start doing chemistry stuff, and then they said, oh, you used to do field work and identify radioactive stuff. And I said, yeah, I did that a lot. And they said, well, why are you analyzing for heavy metals? And I said, because that's what you hired me for. So I started doing work at the lab, and after September 11th, 2001, that tragic day, the government decided they would get serious about potential terrorist threats. And they said, we're going to give all these police departments and military units radiation detectors. So this is backwards. You don't give someone a radiation detector and say, okay, go have a ball. You need to tell them what to do if it goes off. Do you shoot, or do you throw them in jail? Some poor lady in New York City was getting a thyroid treatment, and she was in jail for 7 days. Because it could be a terrorist. If you go out with a radiation detector, you don't find bad guys, you find medical patients. That's how it normally works. And I won't go into all the regulations that let them out of the hospital while they're still quite radioactive. Your insurance company has something to do with that. So anyway, I became a member of the team, about 24 people from Los Alamos, Sandia, and Livermore, who looked at data coming in from the field to tell the police officer, to tell the bomb squad, yeah, that's okay, or no, that's not okay. And if it's not okay, a whole other group of people got involved. But there were about 24 of us split up between the 3 labs, and we had 3 people on call at all times. Mary Martha can tell you about the numerous times that my cell phone and international pager and local pager and home phone all went off at the same time because I had data to go look at. So because I did that at the lab and at GE for a long period of time, it kind of became a hobby. And I actually am the proud owner of about 7 different radiation detectors.
they're all in my garage, and 4 of them can tell you what isotope it is. So it's, you know, eBay. You buy all this stuff on eBay. You can also buy radioactive materials on eBay, but I won't go into that. So anyway, so I'm a field radiation environmental chemist type person. So it just says radiation consultant on my badge. So that's all you need to know about that. But it's fascinating. I still look into stuff like this. And every time I see something, I say, how could this happen? Well, back in, I need to get the clicker. Thank you. So I'm going to be talking about sort of the history where all this got started, how I got interested, and then also, you know, it's contaminated. It's radioactive contamination. Well, what does that mean? Okay, what's radiation contamination? How can that get inside of me? Because it has to do that to affect your health, and it does affect your health. What is this cesium-137 stuff? And it has a British spelling, and it has a US spelling. But it's pronounced cesium, whichever way you see it there. What's the limit on cesium-137 in food? It is different depending on whether you're a member of the public or an occupational worker. Okay, so, well, occupational workers can get more dose than you and I as members of the general public. But how to get into the shrimp? I mean, this stuff is controlled, right? People have to have a license to have this stuff. How to get in the shrimp? And then, are the shrimp from the grocery store safe to eat? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. You can ask questions at any time here. Timeline started in mid-August. What happens is Customs and Border Patrol, after September 11, 2001, eventually got all sorts of big radiation detectors that you could drive a truck through. So those containers that come off the ships in the Port of Oakland go onto a truck bed, they drive through these things. If you set off that radiation alarm, because there are big radiation detectors there, you go over to parking lot B. And you sit there until they can figure out, what is this stuff? Should it be there? Do we need to send it back to wherever it came from, etc. So the FDA made its first recall back in August 18, saying, hey, this shrimp being sold at Walmart, there's a great song on YouTube about radioactive shrimp from Walmart. So, you can look that up. It's to the tune of Video Killed the Radio Star. Came out a while back. So most of the affected shrimp were blocked at the ports. Some made it through. So you have Walmart making recalls, and eventually Kroger, and more recently Safeway. You know, the waterfront bistro shrimp that they put on sale every month or so, they'll have a sale and it'll be $5 a pound for nice shrimp that are frozen there. Yeah, that brand. Okay, so various video news programs talked about this. A lot of them were on ABC News, and some of them were questionable YouTube videos. You kind of go, they almost got that right, you know, and had that sort of feeling about it. So the first 3 news spots I listened to all mispronounced cesium. So I heard it pronounced celsium, cesium, and cesium, kind of like Shazam. Okay? So that actually affected my confidence, so I went on to my Merriam-Webster online dictionary and pushed the pronounce button, and it said cesium. And then the British chemist that does all the videos on YouTube also says cesium, so cesium is the right word. Timeline is still going on. The most recent recall was 2 days ago, Monday. A load of shrimp came into the port of Seattle and set off the alarms, and typically a recall amount is around 80 to 90,000 pounds of shrimp at a time. Okay,
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So if it came into port and it set off the thing,
Yeah.
how did it get to the store? Because you would have thought they would have stopped it in that boat, in that container.
So the sensitivity of these detectors depends on how much is in the shrimp and how fast the truck moves through the portal monitor. If you go through faster, it's going to be less sensitive. And is the customs guy who's supposed to be watching the monitor on break? So the requirement was that they have every shipment go through one of those monitors. And there are people involved. So some of them have made it through, and when the FDA puts out these announcements, they'll say it's this lot number of shrimp, it'll say made in India or produced in Indonesia. On the bag of shrimp, it'll give a best by date, and they'll list all of that stuff so you'll know whether that shrimp is part of the recall or not. If it's recalled, you can go back to Safeway or wherever you bought it from, Walmart, and they are supposed to refund all your money. I don't know what they do with the shrimp. Maybe they put it back on the counter. So the timeline is still going on. We're still running into radioactive shrimp coming in. So, okay, well, this is because the shrimp got contaminated. So what's radioactive contamination? So $10?
Yes.
There we go.
There it is.
All right.
Bring that back.
So the standard definition is it's radioactive stuff where we don't want it. If you're talking about chemicals, chemical contamination is chemicals where we don't want them, okay? It's not under control. So somebody lost control of their radioactive material. I have little bits of radioactive material. So this little orange plastic thing has about a microcurie of cesium-137 in it. Back to the microphone. You can buy those online. There is a general license. You can have up to 10 of those without needing a license for it. And
Why?
Huh?
Why do you need them?
Because you're a geek like me and you have radiation detectors. And,
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's a geek, or sorry you asked?
Maybe you're a high school science teacher and you want to talk to, okay, I don't know. There's legit, there's,
Calibration?
yeah, and so you have to pay extra for a calibration worthy source because it has better tolerances than that is plus or minus 10%. For a calibration source, you want something a little better. But somebody lost control of their stuff. How can people lose control of radioactive material? You go in and Vinny, the summer intern, says, I lost it. Okay, you got to search all over the place. For some things in some states, you have to contact the state and say, I lost my radioactive stuff, I'm looking for it. And the state will say, okay. And, all right. Follow up with a report within the month. Okay, so maybe it got swept into the dustpan and thrown in the trash can or something like that. Let's see. Other ways it gets lost is your factory, your business goes bankrupt and your factory gets abandoned. Okay, so they say, well, let's get all these pipes and pumps and everything else and we'll take them over and send them off to China or somewhere else as scrap metal. And they go into scrap metal foundries. So that's one possible way they can get out of there. I've responded to a couple of those. So if someone lost control of it, they could or could not be in trouble depending on the country they're in or the territory. A lot of US states have different regulations, mostly more restrictive than the federal government's regulation. However, our US territories are very soft on the regulations they make you follow if you're going to have radioactive material. Guam, for instance, if you buy a radioactive gauge of some sort from China, they say, okay, follow the China rules for this. If you buy it from Russia, they say, okay, follow the Russian rules for this. So it gets a little dicey there. Anyway, so if someone's lost track of stuff, and it's especially bad if it gets out into the environment. If you've lost a pump gauge, it's still in the metal housing, that's typically okay. But if it's not in the metal housing, then you run into things like, well, here's a vial of radioactive liquid. It got dropped on the pavement and crunched, and now it's out, depending on the particular type of chemical. It can soak into the asphalt or evaporate into the air or just turn into a residue on the pavement that you can track on the bottom of your shoes and take home with you. So the one over here, that's one of the plumes, deposition plumes from the Fukushima accident. And there was a lot of radioactivity released there. And that's contamination. It's radioactive stuff in the environment where you don't want it. So more on Japanese regulations later on. So if you don't know that there's radioactive contamination there, how can it get inside you? Well, if you didn't wash your hands after working in the radiation laboratory and you picked up your sandwich and ate it, and you had radioactive contamination on your hands, it now is on your sandwich and it gets into you that way. Other ways, some things can get inhaled. There are limits on how much radioactive material can be in the air. For occupational worker, the Environmental Protection Agency has what they call them protective action guidelines for how much can be in the air before you evacuate people from the area. So, yeah, so inhalation or ingestion is what they call it instead of swallowing. You can also get it through injection. Well, no one's going to inject you with radioactive material except for a nuclear medicine doctor, but if you fall down and skin your knee in an area that's contaminated, the contamination can get into your bloodstream that way. And for some chemical forms of some radioactive materials, it can actually absorb through your skin. Think one of those little seasick patches that you put on and the drug goes through your skin to get inside. Yeah, some radioactive stuff can do that. We're not too worried about this. For shrimp, yeah, it's ingestion. I like me some shrimp. So, anyway, not the self-cooking kind. I don't want those. So if you get radioactive stuff inside you, it's going to give you a dose. You have radioactive zoomies coming off of all these things, and they're going into your tissues and causing tissue damage. And when they cause tissue damage, that affects your health, and the doses are measured in either sieverts if you're a metric unit kind of person, or rem if you're a traditional American unit kind of person. So it depends on what the radioactive material is. Does it put out alpha particles, beta particles, gamma rays? Alpha particles are about 20 times more damaging. So the old question at nuclear power school was you had two cookies, one had alpha contamination, one had gamma contamination. Which do you eat, which do you put in your pocket? Well, you eat the gamma cookie, put the alpha cookie in your pocket because you don't want that stuff inside you. It's going to cause more damage. And then, well, is the chemical soluble? Does it dissolve in water? Is your body going to be able to digest that? And then once it is in your body, what's your metabolism? Does it go to a particular organ? Like radioactive iodine goes to your thyroid, makes thyroxine. It's a hormone that controls metabolism. And some of you know people who have had thyroid problems, and they get a little bit of radioactive iodine there. So all those things get taken into account there. If you get radioactive stuff inside you, it's going to give you a dose. And here's an example. This was someone with radioiodine where they took a number of readings off the person, and over time it drops down because of metabolism. Stuff you eat eventually goes out, okay? And radiation can do it two ways. It can either go away by radioactive decay, or you can excrete it somehow.